Ohio State wins key battle for disruptive defensive tackle Damari Simeon.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in, Buckeye fans, to this bonus episode of Locked On Buckeyes, which is your daily Ohio State podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, veteran sports talk host, delivering passionate coverage about your Buckeyes. And during this Buckeye Blitz, we will discuss a decision that three-star wide receiver Jerquaden Guilford made that impacts the Buckeyes. But first, Ohio State's mission in the 2026 class is to emphasize the trenches. And they have done a pretty good job of it on the offensive line. They currently have 4 guys verbally committed so far in this cycle. One of those commitments came earlier this week when offensive tackle Aaron Thomas joined the exclusive group. But on the defensive side of the ball, it hasn't gone as well as it has on the offensive side. But that trend might be changing as 4-star defensive tackle Damari Simeon is the latest player to join the Buckeyes 2026 class. And this young man is athletic, but he's also a disruptor. He knows how to penetrate the offensive line. He is very quick off the ball. When he gets his first 2 steps down correctly and he gets that pop like he needs to, you're getting out of his way, and he is going to be the one being the aggressor on that play. And Damari Simeon, his athleticism, his ability to disrupt any type of play, it's perfect for Larry Johnson's room, and he's the kind of defensive tackle that can excel at Ohio State because this young man is different. I'm not saying different just to fill space. He's different. You watch the film and you go to the huddle to figure out what kind of player is he. You can read all the articles and you can listen to all the podcasts before the man commits, before you watch him with your own 2 eyes. That's great. You can do those things. But I challenge everybody. Anytime somebody commits, or maybe if you hear somebody's going to commit, go watch their tape because that's going to tell you what kind of player he is. Not an article. No. Let your eyeballs, because you're a Buckeye fan, you're smart, let your eyeballs tell you what kind of player he is. And Damari Simeon, man, he disrupts things all the time. And yeah, there were times when I was watching him play, he disrupted run plays for tackles for loss, and then he was able to disrupt plays by really just keeping his shoulders square and getting into the backfield, but not going too deep because he realized, oh, it's a quick pass to the outside. Baby, I'm there. But one of the best plays I saw when I was watching this young man play wasn't a run play and it wasn't a sack. It was an interception. Now, it wasn't an interception where he dropped into the flat or he got back to 3 to 5 yards and played zone coverage over the middle. No, it was a play that he quickly got off the ball. And when he quickly got off the ball, it was, hey, I'm going to hit my man. He goes somewhere else. I'm going to go to the quarterback. But he quickly reads it's not a 3 or 5 or 7-step drop. It's a screen pass. So instead of allowing his momentum to carry him deeper into the backfield, he realized, no, I can slow myself down. I can sit right here and wait for the ball to come. Because when you see the offensive lineman right there and a receiver in the area while the quarterback is doing his steps for a screen pass, that's what's going to happen. So as he reads, as he reacts, what does he do? He stands right there, realizes the ball's coming his way. He makes a very athletic play. Not just for a man 6'3", 275, for anybody. He made a very athletic play, got the INT, and I'm just sitting here thinking, wow, Ohio State got this kid? Ohio State got a kid that at 275 is very athletic, is going to be a 3-tech at the next level, maybe a 5-tech and a 3 down front. This kid, yeah, he's going to come in. It is expected that Edric Houston is going to be a starting defensive tackle in 2025 and in 2026. Who is right behind him? Who is next in line as far as one of the youngsters? It could be Damari Simeon. Now, I also got to apologize real quick because on yesterday's show, I called this man Damarion, and that wasn't the first time I called him that on the show. I think I did it to another show as well. Mama Simeon, Mr. Simeon, I apologize for butchering your son's name. For some reason, in my head, it was Damarion, not Damari. I apologize for that. But I am not going to apologize for the way I'm hyping up this young man and the way he plays the football because he is good. He is solid. He is currently the Buckeyes' second defensive line commit. The other one coming from Khary Wilder from California, the edge rusher. This does not mean the Buckeyes are done with only two. Remember, they're emphasizing the trenches. The Buckeyes are the favorite to get a commitment tomorrow, well, today, from Cameron Brickell, a 6'2", 305-pound D tackle that plays down there at IMG. He is expected, he is predicted to commit to Ohio State today. There'll be two defensive tackles in this class, 3D linemen overall. But you got to keep your eyes on Jameer Perez, who's still committed to Florida, but is on flip alert because it seems like he might flip to Ohio State. He's a Glenville kid as well. Deuce Geralds and Emmanuel Ruffin are the other guys to watch on the defensive line, specifically defensive tackles that Ohio State is pushing for to come to play football at Ohio State. What decision did Jerquaden Guilford make that impacts the Buckeyes? I'll dive into that next. This episode is brought to you by Gametime. Have you ever decided at the last minute to head to a ball game with friends or family? Maybe it's game day and you suddenly realize you want to be in the stands. That's exactly where Gametime comes in. It's the easiest way to grab last minute tickets without the stress. With the money you save on tickets, you can splurge on food, drinks, merch, or even invite a bigger group to come with you. Gametime makes it possible. Gametime makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop the closer you get to first pitch, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views, and a lowest price guarantee that takes the worry out of buying. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LCKEDONCOLLEGE for $20 off. Download Gametime today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you all for tapping in Locked on Buckeyes and making this show your first listen of the day. One thing we know about Ohio State is that right now, this offseason, they're going at their own pace. Ryan Day has a formula. It has been very, very successful, and his formula being successful is one that I wouldn't change anything. Well, excuse me. There are certain things I would change, but in regards to recruiting, in regards to how he's moving this offseason, how he's working to try to find a new QB1, how he's implementing Tyler Bowen and Matt Patricia and a new offensive coordinator in Brian Hartline. I think that stuff is going to work, and Ryan Day can do things at his own pace because he's earned the right to do so. Just won a national championship with the Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are set up to be contenders once again. Ryan Day's formula is successful. Don't change. Don't change at all. And I would say the same thing to Jerquaden Guilford, 3-star wide receiver, target of Brian Hartline, that this young man was one of those guys that we expected to hear a commitment from him. We got one from Damari Simeon. He committed to Ohio State. Jackson Ford, another Buckeye target. He committed to Penn State. The Buckeyes could have gotten another commitment. We predicted that Guilford would commit to Ohio State. Now his commitment date has not been set. He's pushing it back, and I ain't mad at him. I ain't mad at him at all, because I realized that when I was his age, entering into my senior year of high school, I didn't know where the right school for me was. I had no idea where it was. I had no idea what to do to figure out where to go. Now, the resources today are a whole lot different than the resources that we had when I was in high school. I'm not saying I was from the dark ages. I ain't from the 1700s, but a lot has changed with technology, with the use of different things to get information. A lot has changed. And so there's more information now. You would think, hey, maybe Jerquaden Guilford, this is a time for you to make your decision. No, he's pushing it back. He's doing things at his own pace. He's consulted those people inside of the inner circle, and this was the outcome. I ain't mad about it. But for Ohio State, I was still pursuing. I would still go hard after him. Because if you believe you want 5 receivers in this recruiting class, Guilford can be one of the 5, and this dude would be a great addition to this group. Do I think he's going to be a Christian Jr. type in the future? I don't know. I have no idea. I do know this, though. Guilford can figure out a way to pave his own path, walk his own way, talk his own way to get things done. So while Ohio State was expecting to have a bigger day on Friday, getting a commitment from Jerquaden Guilford, the time is not right. and I am not going to knock a young man for doing things at his own timetable because the time for him has to be right to make that decision. Moving forward, there are a couple guys. We touched on this a little bit yesterday. I'm going to run over it once again on a bonus episode. So at some point today, Cameron Brickell, 6'2", 305-pound defensive tackle, plays down there at IMG, is going to announce where he's going to play college football. The prediction, like we mentioned yesterday, has not changed, that Brickell will commit to Ohio State. Imagine this. In a week in the last week in June, would you think that Ohio State would get 2 commitments from linemen in the same time period? Absolutely not. But then let's have it a little bit different. Would you say if a Buckeyes got 3 commitments in this week, 3 commitments, what, in a 4-day span, that they would all be from guys in the trenches? No. You would expect, hey, give me a quarterback, give me a linebacker, give me a DB. You would expect something like that to happen, but you probably would not expect that the Buckeyes would get 3 heavy human beings to commit in a 4-day span. But that's where we are. It's very likely that happens. And if it does, I would not be mad at all, because Brickell is another one of those guys, just like Simeon is a disruptor, a little bit different, where Simeon is lighter currently and has more athleticism. Brickell's not the same type of player, but I do think you're going to see more of this trend of more athletic, heavier guys that are more ready to play shortly after getting on campus. You still want to get some projects, but you also want to get guys that are ready to go now. Last but not least, on Sunday, Xavier Griffin, a 6'3", 200-pound linebacker from Gainesville, Georgia, is going to announce his commitment. The prediction has not changed either, that young man is expected to commit to play down there for the Crimson Tide. If he doesn't, it would be great for James Ornice to get another dog. I don't think it's going to happen, though, but if it does, we might get another bonus pod. We don't always do bonus pods when guys commit, but with it being a weekend, a big recruiting weekend, I said, why not throw a bonus pod out there to highlight Damari Simeon, Jerquaden Guilford's decision, but also to kind of refresh everyone's memory about a couple guys that are committing, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday, to refresh the memory so everyone knows where we predict those guys will commit to play the college football. Thank y'all for tapping in Locked On Buckeyes, for making this show your first listen of the day. For your second listen, check out the portal, because my guy Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings. Be the most informed fan on the rapid changes to the college football landscape. You can find the portal and Locked On Buckeyes on the YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow me on any social media platform at jstevens07. Send every email to jstevens317@gmail.com. This has been Locked On Buckeyes right here on a Saturday. We'll see you next time.